Awesome. We're in episode, I think, 133. I'm pretty sure that's what this one's tracking on to be. Welcome. Your host, Stephen Maxted, and today guest, Jenn Raposo. Am I even saying that right now? I'm
Raposo.
stumbling over it. I'm
Raposo.
double guessing it as I've
Raposo.
done it. One time I got a name really wrong. It's like now it's like PTSD, and it was such a straightforward name. Okay, well here we are with Jenn.
That's okay.
And we were talking weighted vest before we got on here because I just got one, and yeah, and I was talking about it a bit before getting on here is our little warm up chat. But yeah, I was thinking, so the scale was like basically 10 pounds up to like 30 and increments of like
Okay.
5 or 2.5, because there was like 12 and a half and 16. I guess it's not perfectly 5, whatever the breakdown is. They got this thing figured out, and I'm kind of regretting not getting like the 16 or something. I was thinking I'd be like, oh, I'm tough. I could probably, like, 30 pounds is the most. I could probably do 25. And like
Yeah.
25 is like seriously like carrying another human is what it feels like. So mad
Yeah, I
respect for
bet.
anyone's job who involves carrying people around or anything, like with kind of like this like dead weight. Cause like putting it on, I'm like, I had to look it up. For a minute, I thought it was actually in kilograms or something. I was like, is
Okay.
this heavier than I think? And it wasn't. So it just means I'm being a baby about it. So that's kind of been a funny recent running fitness discovery from Steve here. But we were going to talk runners, and you run a lot outside of. We'll talk about fundraising, some stuff today that you're really focused on this year with a great cause behind it, Jen. I'm excited to get into that. We're talking about the running side of things and kind of where I guess maybe some of this like stem from. But what kind of runners are you wearing out there, and what is your preference on running shoes? So let's chat about that.
Well, I'm still kind of going through all of that. I've only worn a couple different pairs. So
Okay.
typically, the very first half marathon I ran, I wore Asics. And of course, didn't know anything about shoes at that time. So I wore them to my true size, which is not good to do. You should like get properly measured because your feet actually they'll size you a little bigger than what you actually are to leave room for, movement of the foot and all the
Toes.
pounding, right? So
Yeah.
right now I'm using New Balance, which I don't know. I'm not finding a whole difference between any of these shoes yet, so I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe it's just me, but New Balance is what I'm wearing right now.
Okay, well, you might be kind of like fortunate as I am in the running thing. Like I rotate through different brands. I mean, I grew up literally working at the Adidas store, so I was like diehard Adidas, and I did grow up loving their brand too. So it was kind of funny to go work there, and then you're just like spending a good chunk of your paycheck on shoes
Yeah,
every week or whatever it is when you're there. You got lots of exposure to learning new things about what is all put into runners in that experience. But I've gone through, yeah, like the Asics. I'm trying to think of this other one. It was like this brand called 360. I tried it for a bit. I'm not sure if it still exists,
mm,
but neat thing. I try different ones, even kind of buying like a couple at a time, so I have some variety or whatever. And they're never specific. Some people have like whatever it's called, pronating and supernating, I think, whatever it is on the feet, right? You can kind of like
okay,
lean
yeah.
in or lean out. And I knew that from my shoe sales days, but I I haven't had to use that expertise in a long time. But I've seen shoes that do say that on the labels at like places like City Park Runners or place near my place here. I prefer to go to like City Park, but there's another place that has like a pretty big, what's it called, Royal Sport. They have like a giant wall
Okay,
of shoes there all the time, right? And there's some that are labeled more specific, so you kind of got to be careful. If you don't have that problem, you don't really want those shoes because they're going to correct you
right.
one way or the
Yeah.
other. But then I really got into Ons because I started doing tries,
Okay.
and they were promoted as like triathlon shoes in some way, which didn't make like I don't know, maybe that's silly of me to say. I didn't really notice that they made like a like giant difference in that space, but I certainly have stuck with using that brand for a long time. And then I did my more recent new pair for like race days or whatever, is a
Right.
pair of New Balance that have like the carbon in them, and I only got them
Yeah,
because
see,
they
I
were on
don't
sale.
have carbon yet. I want to get one. I want to try those.
I think they
But
do. They do add in some form of tech, like they, or it
yeah,
seems to. Maybe it's all. I'm a big fan of the placebo effect too, though. If I can get
right.
a new pair of shoes and I just think that they're faster, then sure, that sounds great to
Yeah.
me too. Like it's interesting. Some people are really dedicated to like one brand, or like where a lot of folks, Nike really hard, right? For
Yeah.
athletic wear anyways, and shoes are a little bit different, but um yeah, it's neat to see, find out what folks are using anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. What Jen, a little bit over to you. I'll do maybe more of a formal intro now that we're done talking weighted vests and runners here. But um, nobody fights alone. Now, is that the fundraiser that you're running, supporting cancer care here? Is that your like specific title for it, or is that like an overcompassing one for cancer care specifically, or what's the breakdown of the name itself in regards to that for you?
Yeah, no, so I created that. I kind of went through a couple names before I settled on that one.
Yeah,
I feel like it's just more fitting because it's, you know, although my purpose behind it is my mom, but I'm also doing it for everyone. So it's like I'm
yeah,
your support, everyone, like it's, yeah. So I finally settled on that one and just kind of went with it.
sweet. And the story behind the run, and I'll maybe just warm this one up here, but your mom had a pretty long battle with cancer, and now you've um, taken on really cool um, I don't know, project fundraiser. I don't even know, or beside fundraiser, but a meaningful cause behind it here and raising money for CancerCare Manitoba here. And yeah, well, I guess like the title says, nobody fights alone. Trying to help bring a little bit of a community together. It's great to see events pop up like this for folks going through that. And so maybe walk us through whatever you want to share about that storyline and why this is such a big impact for you. And yeah, and how it's a run, right? Specifically too. It's
Yeah,
a
so
run or walk, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
so my birthday is on the 26th, so I'm running on the 26th, 100 kilometers through Assiniboine Park. Um,
Cool.
because it's a personal fundraiser, like I say, I'm running alone, but I'm not really running alone because, friends will
Right.
join in or different people will join in throughout the day. Um, but yeah, so my mom um, was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2000 when I was 18 years old. I was still in high school at the time. So back then, she had um, I think the first time was lymph nodes removed, and then she had treatments and everything and all this stuff. And a little bit about my mom, she's been a single parent like my whole life. So it was my sibling and I and my mom. And so at
Mhm.
the time, my sibling would have been 7 years younger than me, or she is 7 years younger than me.
Still is, eh?
So yeah.
Which is no, it's okay. I do the same thing. I got to make some light in here too, out of a serious story,
Yeah,
where otherwise I'll break
no,
down
for
partway through.
sure. No,
So
it's all
sorry.
good. But yeah, so I was 18, sibling was younger, and single
Mm,
parent. So she's going through all these things essentially on her own, but not really. Um, but there wasn't a
yeah,
whole lot that I could do at the time, and I didn't, in my mind, at
yeah,
18 years old, she's strong, like she'll be fine. And then I can't remember the exact year, but she had a brief period of remission just prior, yeah, brief remission. And then in 2016, she was re-diagnosed with breast cancer again. This time she had a single mastectomy. And then shortly after that, then they had spotted lesions on her liver. So then she had to have surgery on her liver. And then more treatments and all that through all these years. And then they found a tumor on her thyroid that they didn't really do anything about. They just kind of watched. And then again, treatments, chemo, radiation. I think there might have been another surgery in there. And then in between all of that, at one point, she ended up falling and fracturing her shoulder. And I
yeah,
guess because of all the treatments and all the cancer, her bones started to get really brittle. And
yeah,
so actually, I think it was yesterday, 1 year ago, my mom had actually gone in for surgery because they had um, wanted her to get her leg stabilized because she was at risk for fracture of that, which they said at the time could have been way worse. So that was exactly 1 year ago, yesterday, because I got a memory today. um,
Ugh,
of her in
the beauty
hospital.
and the like danger of phones doing that,
Yeah,
whether it be
yeah,
like a thing from a past that's unwanted necessarily to see, but that's part of life, right?
yeah.
With those memories that pop
And
up like that. Yeah.
hmm and then with the surgery, and like in between all of this, so my mom, because she had done everything on her own for so long, and she had been with the same doctors, same nurses for all these years, it was like something would come up and she was like, oh, found something, we're going to treat it, everything's good. So my sibling and I, we just went along with it. Okay, mom's good, she's being treated, this is what it is.
Yeah.
But then take you back just a little bit. So my grandfather passed away in April of 2024, and my mom had been taking care of him like for years. And then shortly after he passed, she ended up with fluid in her lung. And then so she had to get that drained. And so with that, we started to think that, okay, maybe there's something more going on that maybe either my mom doesn't want us to worry about or she doesn't fully understand how sick she might be because it's been so long. So then I said,
Yeah.
okay, Mom, I'm going to start coming to your appointments because I need to understand too. And so what we didn't know was that in 2016, when she was re-diagnosed, she was considered stage 4 because it was a returning and it
Right.
had metastasized. So we didn't know that information, and I don't know
Right.
that my mom fully understood the depth of what she was going through because after we had met with the doctor and they're telling us all these things like, yeah, she's stage 4 and like her time is limited and we didn't really we had asked like, well, what's the prognosis, like what are we dealing with, and they're like, well, we can't really tell you. And then we started researching, and the magic number, I guess, is 5 years when you're stage 4 technically, based on the internet. And then they had told us, well, you can't really go by that either. And then at this point, calculating it all, like she's hitting that timeline, and we were just so like thrown because we were like, how did we not know how bad this was? And so then at that time they were then worried about her stabilization because then if she falls then it's going to be really bad. So they referred her to a surgeon, and when we went and looked at the x-rays, they said that it looked like moths were chewing through her bones because there were holes all throughout.
Damn.
So, and when we asked the surgeon, like, what's recovery time? He's like, oh, well, day surgery, next day she should be up, everything, walking around. And we're like, great. Well, again, something else we didn't know that when someone is really sick, and you go through a surgery like this, it can actually aggravate the cancer cells and make them more aggressive. So in July of 2024, she had about July, August, 4 months about. She passed away in October 25th of 2024. Um, when she came out of surgery, we got her home for a couple days, maybe a week, and she was in so much pain. She was going to come live with me, but her doctor said she needs more help than you can give her. And so from that, we went to palliative at Riverview. She was there for 4 weeks. Then we went to hospice at Grace Hospice, and she was there for exactly 2 weeks. And then she passed. So the
Yeah.
she's my why behind my run. Um, there's so much that families go through. And when you have someone like my mom who just kind of takes everything in stride, like she never once complained. She never once was, I'm scared. She never once cried to us that we ever saw, and still taking care of my grandpa, doing her like independent, like going to get groceries and doing all these things. Like to look at her, you would have never known. Meanwhile, her body was fighting this horrible fight that we had no clue about. So, and hearing things from the doctors after the fact, and kind of maybe there's regret there, and kind of encouraging the surgery, because would she have had more time if we had left it? Like, how would that have looked? And we don't know that. And I know you're not supposed to, think of the what ifs, but it's hard. So this run
Exactly.
is, really fueled by my mom. So, and I mean, granted, it's for CancerCare Manitoba Foundation, and they do so much research, and research is the way to, getting rid of this awful disease. But um, yeah, so I'm doing it for her. I'm doing it for everyone. I'm doing it for families. I'm doing it for like myself, my family. Like, yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. Jen, thanks for sharing that part of the story there. It's got to be tough to talk about. And, your mom's actually obviously a very tough woman to do that alone. I think it's tricky for anyone to go through that. I mean, with a team around them, but to be doing that with two young ladies as well, raising them and kind of acting as if it's almost like a no big deal is what I heard you kind of
yeah,
say there. Casually
yeah,
going through treatment is kind of a superpower all on its own.
yeah.
And so maybe let's go back to the run for a second, or run
Mhm.
day and the event. So fundraising for cancer care, lovely. The event itself, you're running 100K, and people are welcome to come and join. That's the whole idea behind it, and
Yeah,
be part of that day in the park there. Okay.
yeah,
I'm just picking this
yeah.
apart. I've read the things you've sent me on this, by the way. I think we're sending you something, but truly, I'm learning a little bit more about this. I thought it was more of a 5K, but that's sick that you're doing a
No,
100. So
no,
people are
yeah,
welcome to come and
all
join
day.
for
Yeah.
any part of the day with the run there. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and so I talked to City Park Runners, and I'm going to be using them as my water fuel station for the day, because
Cool.
I'm just doing a in and out 10K route that they do sometimes. So I'm familiar with it, and I know that I can, like, come back, use the washroom, get snacks, whatever, and go back out.
Yep.
So we will be set up, as long as the weather is good, outside of City Park. And
Cool.
I'll have information from Cancer Care, and we'll be taking money donations as well. But primarily, the donations are through the website that Cancer Care Foundation had created for me. So it's
Sweet.
all straight to them.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so it's a out and back 10K all day. Hoping to start at 8, but depending on the weather. The last
Yeah.
time I ran on my birthday. It was the hottest day of the summer, so I might have to
Well,
start earlier, but we'll see. We'll see
yeah,
what
you haven't
happens.
picked a hot time of year. It depends though, because the last couple of mornings, I guess even like today, it's been a little bit more forgiving on the
Yeah,
yeah, the temperature side. So hopefully it kind of actually hangs around for that. So funny, hey, we have like literally the coldest winters, and
yeah,
for us to even like be a little meh about heat seems kind of crazy. But
yeah,
sometimes it's too hot here. It's like we got a very untemperature controlled environment basically. So um
yeah,
I totally get that. There's well, that's really cool. That's yeah, that's sweet. I'm pumped to hear about this again. Now I'm hearing like more of the full story. So people are open to come
yeah.
and go. You're starting at like 8 a.m. in the morning is the goal. And yeah, I guess I mean rough pace. I don't know speeds and stuff here, but I'm guessing like 10K and kind of like an hour kind of thing, or maybe a little bit
I
longer per 10K.
no, I'm going for distance on this day, so
Fair. What's
nope.
the math on that
We're
then?
yeah, speed is off. Speed is off.
Okay. So probably take the whole day then. I'm literally using a calculator. Yeah, because if
Yeah,
you're
like
doing like
I've booked myself for 10 hours. Might be a little
yeah,
bit longer, but I'll get it done.
that's fantastic. Cool. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that'll be a great event, and we will certainly include, um, yeah, link in some of our posts here. I'll make sure that I do have that. I think I have that from your thing you sent over there before. But and what is the financial goal for you? I know that you did have a number on attached there. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure I know what it is, but I
so
don't want to get that wrong. But
so I'm turning 43 on the 26th, so
get
I
out of
want to
here.
raise $4,300. Yes. That's the
Okay. Very cool. And where do things stand today for the fundraising efforts? I know you have a little bit of progress, and things usually happen closer to the event and stuff like that. But I'm probably just getting things rolling there. Where do things stand? Or do you know? I guess maybe you have an update report.
So as of yesterday, I was at, I think it was 16 or 17% of my goal. So it was like 700 and something because I started
Awesome.
um, spamming some of my Facebook people.
Yeah, of
So
course. Yeah, so you're about like 30, just over 3 grand, 3,600 roughly to go.
yeah, yeah.
That's a huge start because a lot of people that come to the event will, yeah, donate or see you there, and yeah, that'll be
Hmm.
fantastic. We've seen that happen with other fundraising stuff that we do. It's like the day of, everyone's like, "All right, you're doing that thing today. I'll actually,
Yeah,
donate." It's so silly a human psychology on that.
yeah.
That's real. So, yeah,
And
and
one of the
there's
other things I have with it is so I do have a grand prize at the end. So everyone who donates is entered into it. So right now it's valued at just about $1,000. I have
cool.
some things to go pick up today, so that'll add to the value of the grand prize. But then
Nice.
I have, I think tomorrow I was supposed to do a draw last week, so I'm going to do that tomorrow, and then another one this weekend. And then also everyone who donates $50, I'm getting a name of a loved one or someone that is fighting or has passed, and I'm going to put a ribbon and wear it on my shirt that day. And so I have someone working on my run day outfit. So it's going to have like
Cool.
people who have supported me and like businesses and then just different sayings on it. And I have the
Really
QR
neat.
code that's going to be on the back so that people can
Sweet.
scan it as I'm running and yeah, so
Very awesome. Well, you know what? I mean, I'm just thinking when you said outfit for the day, I flash back to we were chatting at Run Your Lungs Out,
yeah,
another cancer fundraiser locally here. We're doing lots of city park runner things here,
yeah.
but they host that. It's indoor thing with treadmills and stuff. Were you and your group of friends, ladies, family? I think your daughter was there too, running with you, or at least they're supporting and stuff. And you had quite the outfit. I believe it was like tutus and a bunch of
It
pink
was our
Taylor Swift style
80s.
thing. Your
Yeah, it was
80s
my
thing. Sorry, I thought
friend's
it was like,
yeah, it was my friend's birthday, so we had gotten those
yeah.
little outfits for the event.
Well, big
Yeah, it's not
advocate and
gonna be
supporter.
as outrageous as that. It needs to be roomy. So it's shorts and a shirt, but I have it all done up. So yeah.
Well, themes are super fun, and it's cool if it's more noticeable. People take a attention to that. And I mean, your run itself may take a little bit longer, like you were just saying. If you got the QR code or someone wants to stop and chat with you about it, you're going to take time to probably do that on
Hmm.
that route for folks. But that's going to be a long day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, very long.
it's 100 kilometers, right? So you said.
100 kilometers, yeah.
Yeah.
So my 10K out and back, so I have to do that 10 times. Like,
Hmm.
it'll be okay.
What's the snack plan?
So I'm gonna have, of course, gels. But I'm gonna have like watermelon, oranges, protein bars, maybe some candy. I don't know,
Yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of other stuff. Maybe some
Cool.
bagels, maybe some carbs. Yeah,
Okay.
some
We have
Gatorade.
training. Okay. Yeah, the works. It's
Yeah,
um something yesterday. I'm not well, I don't it's not that I'm not proud of it. I did very good shopping hungry last night. I went for like in the morning. I did like a weight workout and then went for a bike. I'm sure this is very relatable. That's why I thought of snacks right away. I'm like, let's ask Jen about how she's gonna stay fueled because it's always very important for someone who's not familiar with endurance sports and just pushing yourself is I don't even know what bonking stands for, but basically you run out of juice and you kind of go like a bit foggy and stuff. Like I notice if I'm heading that way, my hearing kind of like pops or my ears like pop if
yeah,
I've like pushed too hard or I'm getting dehydrated basically. So it's super
yeah,
important to stay on top of that stuff. Like obviously, like the almost moment, but sometimes I can be bad at it or I push it too hard when I'm out and I don't think of like I don't take the time because I'm pushing like harder.
yeah,
Um, and yesterday when I got hungry, I was like, I'm gonna go eat my second dinner, but I didn't have like a full meal, and I was like, went to Sobeys and grabbed all this stuff. And when you were mentioning candy, though, I'm like, okay, you know what? Actually, I do have gels, but I should grab some stuff that like tastes a little different. And it's important
yeah,
to have these little things for the little bit of like sugar, like kind of carb release that way to keep you going, because it's going to be quicker release to get to your muscles and stuff than
Mhm.
digesting a whole meal. You're not going to, well, maybe you will take a sandwich with you. I have no idea. For a 100 kilometer
Yeah.
run, that's pretty nuts. Like, you may need sandwiches ready to
Yeah.
roll there.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I was very controlled on my purchases yesterday, because I was just like, whatever. But the only, whatever. So it was like chips, a bunch of like not very like probably health recommended stuff other than like bananas. And then I did get some meat and like some guac dip or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's kind of funny the way that I was shopping hungry, but it was like disciplined shopping hungry. I didn't totally wreck the
That's
yeah,
impressive.
the training by it, but it was close. It was like I was starting to eye up the candy aisle there a little too hard. I'm just like, and I don't really like candy or sweets like a ton, but there's a certain craving that I just know it'll like fill that like
Yeah.
void a little bit quicker if I'm still, even after a meal, a little like foggy, I'll say, like lightheaded, almost kind of like
Mhm.
that. But okay, I'm pumped that you have a good snack plan at least for this, because
Yeah.
it's one of the things I almost like worry about for races. I'm like, what am I taking with me? Like, what am I going to have besides, well, usually gels if it's a run
Yeah.
on its own, but if it's a try or something, it's a little different. But
Yeah.
anyways,
No, and
what's your favorite?
so I always typically, with the exception of one half marathon, I always have the Haribo, the cola bottles or the gummy bears.
Smart. I got the
Yeah,
cola bottles
those are
for
my
mine. Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
I did try the nerd clusters, which apparently is all the rage now, but it gave me wicked heartburn. So I was like,
I
nope,
love that.
nope, can't do those.
I feel
But
like they already kind of like nerds were weird. Like, I feel like they
super
had like a
sweet.
popping effect. Yeah. And like, I don't know about that one. I did see that as
Because
being like
it's
a trend, but
Yeah,
didn't try
because
it.
it's like like the crunchy pieces, but then it's the gummy pieces, and I feel like that's just way, yeah, my body didn't like it. So
I have to even look up. Well, where nerds used to come in like little boxes, right?
yeah, they still do they? I think now it's like nerd clusters and nerd gummies that are in like the bigger packages.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm thinking of the right candy here. Like,
Yeah,
as
and they
kids, we
had
were
the
like
little, yeah.
little like candy was not a thing. Like, once in a while we could go get like candy, but my parents actually did a really good job of not. There's a place you can like wholesale buy them. I guess resellers. I guess you have to be able to
Hmm.
buy them to sell them. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Anyways, they've been around for 42 years. Fun fact.
Hmm,
I'm just
look
googling
at
this real
that.
quicker to get a visual for it, but launched in 1983. Yeah, I couldn't get on that one either. It wasn't like my favorite candy. I do remember having them as basically like consuming sugar, but um,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, my two thoughts in here for the whole eating thing. But yeah, it's hard to stay fueled, especially if you do long runs already though too. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
not discounting your 100K you're going to push out here. But what kind of runs are you doing in prep for this fundraiser already? Because I see Strava, you have some longer runs going on weekends and stuff, or maybe weekday nights. I'm not even paying attention to the calendar necessarily,
Yeah.
but
So for this one, I've only been doing 10Ks just to keep moving,
okay.
but then strength as well.
Yeah, yeah,
I think just because like the last full marathon, and I don't know if it's just aging, that it took me a bit longer to recover from it. And not that I felt bad, but I was just very exhausted. So
yeah.
I've just been kind of keeping it tame and just because I know I'm going to be going slow anyways. And as long as I keep
Right.
stretching and just moving my body, I'll be okay. So,
Yeah. No, no,
yeah.
I'm super down with that routine. Some people have different routines where they're like running equivalent to whatever that race is like way ahead of time, and I'm not an advocate. I do not do that. I'm like, even, and this might be a weird thing to say, but it's like even ahead of halves, like I might run 10K or whatever, but usually it's like between 5-10 kilometers at most, usually 5K runs though. That's kind of what I'm more doing at. But the harder thing with that is like you lose a sense of like where your pace is maybe for like the longer runs, in that sense there. But besides that, once you kind of figure out your pace again, then you're able to kind of come back in for yeah, finishing that race. So once you kind of get that dialed in for you there, yeah, it'll turn for you as soon as you do it.
Okay.
Here, once you do it, it'll auto go back on. Trust me. There you
Okay.
go. The trust the tech all the way. So
Okay,
there
there
you
we
go.
go.
Perfect. A slight
So
tech glitch.
yeah,
Don't worry. I kept chatting. We're fine. This is good.
good, good.
Light tech
Yeah, they
errors,
say
but
you're supposed to taper before a long run anyways, so
Well, I'm just always tapering then, I guess. I'm
Yeah.
taping it down. On the run specifically, it used to be fun. I used to like love running, like out of the triathlon stuff I do, but now it's like I'm more focused on like the swim and the bike. And it just seems
Okay.
like the legs are kind of there for the run anyway. So it's not like I'm not
Yeah.
training for that. If I was just focused on running, then yes. But and basic, I mean, well, what you're doing on the day of is well, like almost like 2 full marathons plus a little bit.
Hmm.
The full
Yeah.
marathon is what, 42 kilometers?
Yeah.
42.2.
Yep. So it's like 2 fulls and a half-ish, just under a half, I guess.
That's wild. That's so crazy. But that'll be really cool. Very rewarding as well. I think
Yeah.
you're, yeah, mom's very proud of you. I'm sure. Watching you do this and put it on and then perform the day of. This is, yeah, a really cool cause. That's gonna be a. What else was I gonna ask you? Are you gonna listen to music?
Oh yeah. And I
Yeah,
was thinking like taking breaks throughout because
yeah,
one time, like I do love music and I love listening to my music, but one time
yeah,
my music disconnected and I couldn't reconnect it. And so to run without
yeah.
it, I was mad at first, but it was actually really nice. So I might take breaks
Can
in
be.
between. So we'll see.
Yeah. How do you choose a playlist for something like this? Also, I feel like you'd have to like charge up headphones, like to multiple different ones if they're wireless, because I feel like mine do last a good amount of time now, the new ones that I have or whatever, those like shock things when they're not totally in your ears or whatever, but they do well. But I feel like you might need to have like
Well, I
the
did buy
charging.
this little charging deck thing, so I'll
Nice.
have that with me. Yeah.
Cool.
Um, yeah, playlist. I don't know. I just kind of throw a bunch of stuff together. I'll probably do it more where it's like my fun stuff at the beginning, and then like when I get tired, more of the like rave type. I don't know, keep me going, move my
Yeah.
legs. Yeah. So,
You almost have
and
to
it's
get
a
creative
mix.
with that many miles going on. Yeah. That's gonna be a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge race. I mean, there's a few local folks that like do often do long race days and stuff. So you follow them on Strava, you get to know them through running groups and stuff, and just phenomenal folks, including yourself on the athletic side here. It's that's going to be a very cool thing to for you to be doing. So
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
I'm
Um,
excited.
I'm excited for this too. If folks do want to join, I guess throughout the day, I guess the general plan, if I may say this out loud, but you tell me if I'm wrong on this one, but would be to meet kind of at City Park Runners to start off the day number one if it's starting then. But if they're kind of waiting between intervals, basically wait there, meet you, and then
Yeah.
head back up to the next set kind of thing.
Yeah. Or they can try and find me. Like I'm running when you go over the footbridge and then you
Yeah,
turn left and then you just go all the way to like Wellington and Academy and like Academy Wellington, that kind of path. That's the
yeah, yeah.
path I'm taking there and back. So,
And all the way down Wellington and back then,
yeah,
or
all the
how
way
far do you go?
down to wherever it hits. I don't know what that major road is,
That's
but
okay.
all the way down there.
Down and back there that some way. It's
Yeah.
so funny how my brain, because I'm just more recently, or like tonight I'm going for the run thing, whatever. But I was biking yesterday, so now my brain is more biking distance thinking or whatever. Because I mean, it's the same distance, but just time wise, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about how
Yeah.
long 10 kilometers, I guess like 5 out, 5 back would take. That's a
Yeah.
great spot. That's a very easy road to go and catch up with folks
Hmm.
too. So that's very cool that you're
Yeah. And
doing
there's
this.
like
Much
enough
easier to
to
do
look
anything.
at too. So lots of trees and
Yeah, you're
yeah.
gonna get bored. You're gonna know all the houses inside and out running by them there. You'll be like, oh, I think this color paint would look good over here,
Yeah.
um, on there. But oh no, that'll be a fantastic day. There's some good shade there as well, underneath some of the
Yeah.
bigger trees there. And I mean, if it is a hotter one, you'll still have some sunspots there. But that's fantastic. That's cool.
Hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Is there anything else that we should know about the day or running or Jen? I'll throw that one out there too as the last thing. Otherwise,
Um,
I'm covered all the important stuff.
I
But
I don't know. I think that's pretty much it.
yeah, that's okay. Just throwing it out there. Making
Yeah,
sure we
no.
captured all the important things. It feels like we have, and we'll include yeah, as much as we can in links in our post. We'll make sure to tag that the account that is related specifically to fundraising for you there. Yeah, this has been awesome having you on the show, Jen. If there's nothing else that you want to add, and this is totally free mic time. If you'd like to add anything in, you're super welcome to. If not, we can call it an episode
Well, I guess
on
the
this.
only other thing that I will mention is that if
Sure.
people can't necessarily make a donation, St. James Burger is donating $1 from every Body Slam burger that they sell throughout the
Cool.
month of July. So if you want to buy a Body Slam burger, which is, I think, connected with Winnipeg Pro Wrestling, if I'm not
Body
mistaken.
Slam
So
Burger.
yeah, it's a
I'm writing it down.
double burger. I think there's, oh, I can't remember, but it looks nice and juicy. So I'm gonna be hitting that up at some point this week too. So
I grabbed a pen that didn't work, but I think I got the keywords in here to Body Slam Burger from
yeah,
St. James Burgers. Is that what it's
St.
called?
James
St. James.
Burgers. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's
That's a
right
sick
on
shout out.
Ness and Collegiate.
Well, sign me up for a few. I'll have to bring some friends. I'm just gonna have one,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
I will definitely do that. I'm number one. I love food and trying new spots. Big Google reviewer. Um, but I will definitely go check that out outside of yeah, hopefully adding some stuff in here. We'll talk offline after this, but
Yeah.
that's a huge shout out. Body Slam Burger, $1 from each burger for the month of July, going to this fundraiser as well. So that's fantastic. That is
Hmm.
very good. So, cool.
Yeah.
Jen, pleasure having you on. Always nice chatting.
Yes.
Yeah, let's call it an episode here, and we'll get this out
Sounds
for the
good.
people. And we wish you the best of luck on the run, and yeah, all positive vibes.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you. Talk soon.
Sounds good. Bye.